All right, we are live for AEW Revolution. Welcome to the Squared Circle Psychobabble. My name is Michael Valenti. This is Ralph Valenti for news, reviews, conversations on all things pro wrestling. Subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. There are 8 matches on this card, Ralph. All of them not exactly predictable, to say the least.
No, absolutely not. All of them definitely matches we're looking forward to. Definitely good builds towards all of them. And I think a lot of people are looking forward to this pay-per-view. I think the 2 matches, the 2 main events, if you want to call them that, either the one with Cody and MJF or obviously Moxley and Jericho, all the matches, especially those, are going to deliver in a big way, I think, tonight.
Yes, and of course, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. And if you want to support the channel, join the Super Chat party by clicking the $sign underneath the live chat. Donate any dollar amount that you can, and it will help support the channel. And maybe I'll do something crazy for every time you donate something on the Super Chat. Maybe I'll let Ralph do a flare chop to me for every Super Chat that we get. You okay with that?
You'll regret it, but sure.
Yeah, we'll do that. So at the end of the episode, the more Super Chats we get, the more chops I'll get. Maybe I'll look worse than Chris Van Vliet at the end of the night. So shall we get to the predictions, Ralph?
Let's do it. Let's get into it.
All right, first match is going to be the pre-show match, the buy-in match. It is the Dark Order versus SCU, Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. Now, this one here, they do like to bring SCU out to start pay-per-views a lot, usually in a winning fashion, but the Dark Order could use a win here, especially with the Exalted One coming, and a lot of people thinking it will be, in fact, Matt Hardy. So, first off, is it going to be Matt Hardy? And if it is, does he appear tonight?
So I'm going to stick with my original prediction. I still am not convinced that Matt Hardy is going to go to AEW. Now, I would love to see it, but he's been laying it on really thick lately. And there's also, he's still under contract, or actually it ran out, today, I believe? At some point today?
March 1st at midnight is when his contract runs out. So
he's right around the corner. So I don't know necessarily if he's going to be the Exalted One. I certainly would enjoy that if he was. So I don't know. I think that right now for this match, the Dark Order certainly needs the win.
Yep.
They are right in the thick of things. They have a main storyline that they're trying to progress with them, and I don't think it'd do them any favors to really necessarily have them lose at this junction. Obviously, they've been kind of teasing that Christopher Daniels is the Exalted One, or kind of leading people to believe that. So I think there'll be some type of screwy finish where Daniels, there's a mix-up. He ends up costing SCU the match, and Dark Order wins. But I think because they're trying to at least establish the Dark Order, I think that they need the win more than SCU does.
I agree that Dark Order definitely needs something, a big win here. And with the Exalted One coming, whether it's tonight, whether it's next week or some point, Daniels could cost the Dark Order the match. Could cost SCU the match.
Right.
And lead to him being the Exalted One. The good thing about this whole Exalting One thing is that they have teased so many people that you can't actually say who it's going to be.
Yeah.
We've seen hints at Matt Hardy, especially with his YouTube channel recently saying Dear Dr. RKO, which is an anagram for Dark Order.
Yep.
Everybody Dies was a tweet that Evil Uno tweeted out, which is a hint at Lance Archer. Mm-hmm. Christopher Daniels has always been the on-screen person that people hint at. We had an on-screen appearance of Raven, so now everyone thinks it's him.
Yeah.
That's great storytelling. So that the fact that we have 4 possible candidates for the Exalted One, we'll see how it goes. But I don't think the Exalted One is appearing tonight, but I do think something happens with Christopher Daniels to make people believe he's the Exalted One before they reveal someone else is there. And I will say the Dark Order goes for the victory. Now let's head on to the main show. And we'll start with probably the most anticipated match on the undercard here. And it was just built 3 days ago on AEW Dynamite. We'll call this one the Cornette Cup match.
Yeah.
It's the Bastard Pack going up against my little dog Pockets.
Yep. And Jim Cornette is certainly going to be throwing a fit after this one, I got to imagine. But you know what? This is going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. The crowd's going to be into it. You have literally one of the best wrestlers in the world in Pac that's going against a guy that, is, somewhat divisive in the wrestling community. Some people are into him, some people aren't. But I know that the crowd is going to get into this match, and it's going to make for a cool environment.
I think this is going to shock a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there that think that Orange Cassidy cannot wrestle because of his character.
Yeah.
And especially a guy like Jim Cornette, who's only seen him in the Casino Battle Royale and what we've seen on Dynamite. I don't think he's ever seen a match of his on YouTube. And if he has, it's very limited. I wonder if he's ever seen that match with David Starr. And if he hasn't, I think he's in for a surprise tonight. And I think somehow this could be up there as one of the matches that we talk about for match of the night. Well, surprisingly.
Yeah, because one of the things I always talk about, and I'm so adamant about, is the investment of the crowd. If the crowd is invested in a match, it makes that match feel that much more special. And probably the best example, at least one of the biggest examples that comes to mind when I think about investment of a crowd, is when Rock faced Hogan at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this was going to be a high caliber match, but I don't think people really anticipated the type of reaction that Hogan was going to get from the crowd.
Right.
Regardless of how that match went, the match itself was good. They didn't do anything crazy. It was mostly, punches, kicks, leg drops, all the stuff that you'd expect.
Mm-hmm.
But the crowd was so into it that it took it, that the crowd investment and the sheer reaction from the crowd brought it from here to like a level 10.
Right.
And it made for a memorable moment. Now, I don't know if we're going to get that to that extent with this match, but I know the crowd is going to be into it. They're already into Orange Cassidy. He's largely been mostly like a comedian type character.
Right.
So this is his first opportunity to not only prove a lot of people wrong, which I think he's going to be able to do, especially because he's talented in the ring, and Pac is also very good as well. So
I'm looking forward to seeing the first spot where Pac dives to the ground to do that leapfrog spot that we see in wrestling matches, and Orange Cassidy stops and just steps over him. You see that all the time in his matches, and that's going to be the first. You'll hear the entire country of the United States of America just hear Cornette going, "Oh, what the fuck!" as soon as he sees that.
Fuck show shit.
It's going to happen, and everyone in the universe is going to hear it. It's like the crowd will go silent, and then you just hear Cornette in the distance going, "Mud show shit." I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. And then social media is going to be blowing up with people saying that's awesome, and you get some other people going, "This is the stupidest shit ever."
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes you need that. Sometimes you want that, and you welcome it, because you look at a guy like Cena who is also, you get the people that, when he comes out, let's go Cena sucks. I mean, it makes for a good environment.
Yeah.
If people are talking about you, it's good.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
So who do you think wins?
I think that Orange Cassidy's going to win this match.
What?
I do.
You do?
I do, because the reason I think that is, I think that they're going to make a statement tonight. Cody Rhodes has already said they're going to do big things with him. They plan to do big things with him. And I think they're going to try to shock people. And I think they're going to want the reaction from the crowd, because if he wins, knowing this is such an upset, I'm not saying that he's going to, do some devastating finisher. I think like a schoolboy, a roll-up, something like that.
Those devastating kicks, man. The devastating kicks could knock out Pac.
But he might hurt himself if he's not careful.
Yeah, that's true.
Break a foot.
But I think AEW, what they do a lot with guys in their singles debuts, you see it so many times that they show a good match, but they always end up in a losing effort. I think that's what this case is going to be. Cody said he has big plans for Orange Cassidy. I don't think a win over Pac is really going to help him for a mainstream audience, or a lot of like Orange Cassidy can look really good in a losing effort. And I think that's what's best for this situation, because if he goes in there and rope-a-dopes Pac looks very bad in this situation.
Nothing's going to look quite as bad as The Fiend is coming out of this weekend. I don't think so.
I would agree with that, but it's pretty close.
Nearly as much.
Right. So before we head to the next match here, I do want to thank Brandon Brown for joining the Super Chat Party. $5, and he has a question here. Any other surprise debuts tonight for the impossible reveal of the Dark Order leader? Well,
Joey Styles.
What? Isn't he under contract with WWE?
I'm joking.
Yeah. Lance Archer could show up. That might be later on. We'll talk about that later. I know people are saying Luke Harper or Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy still has another day on his contract.
Yep.
Luke Harper still has another week before his 90-day no-compete. Maybe if they do want to bring out a surprise out of nowhere, Ryback. But I really don't see anybody else. So thank you, Brandon, for the $5 donation. If anybody wants to join the Super Chat party as well, click that $sign, give us a question. And for every Super Chat that we get tonight, Ralph is going to give me a flare chop at the end of the episode. So you're already at one. One flare chop.
I want to make this worse than the lashings.
Oof. I don't know. Did you see Chris Van Vliet when he got his 20 chops from?
I did see that, yeah.
That was bad. But let's move on to the next match here. I think this one could be match of the night. A lot of people are excited about this one. It's Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara.
Yep.
This one here, both of them need a win, I think.
Yeah.
So who needs it more in Tony Khan's eyes? And I think that's who wins.
I think Darby Allin's going to win this, and the reason I say that is Sammy Guevara, he's obviously been good, and he's kind of been somebody who has surprised a lot of people, I think. Darby Allin, he's lost a lot of high-profile matches, and I think he certainly needs the win more so than Darby Allin. Darby Allin's a heel, so, it's not like they're going to boo him any louder should he lose the match. He's in the inner circle, so he's going to get the rub from Jericho and whoever else anytime he comes out either way. He's kind of got an established gimmick, so I think Darby needs a win. He's going to get the win here.
Yeah, I agree. Darby definitely needs the win. Sammy has gotten some big wins on TV already, whether it's in a tag team match or on one-on-one competition. Darby, most of his wins have come on Dark or were before Dynamite went on TNT. So I don't see Darby losing here, and he definitely needs a big win. And the pops that he's been getting every time he shows up are so huge that if he loses, I don't know if it would necessarily kill all of his momentum. It's not like, Fiend losing to Goldberg in 90 seconds, but I think it would definitely put a huge halt in that momentum. So I'm definitely going with a Darby Allin victory over Sammy Guevara. But at the same time, Sammy's part of the inner circle. Do we see Santana and Ortiz get involved?
I'm sure you'll see them get involved, but I just don't. I can't see him losing again. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like he's losing high-profile matches on a consistent basis. And granted, it's been to guys that are at the top of the food chain in AEW, but he really needs to start picking up some type of wins in one way or another. I mean, with the type of reaction he's getting, you want to try to capitalize on that and build momentum,
Right?
And not necessarily have him regress in any way.
True. Now, keeping on with the Inner Circle theme, our next match here is a singles debut, an AEW debut, as Jake Hager goes up against Dustin Rhodes. So
Dustin Rhodes?
Rhodes. My D didn't come out there. Dustin Rhodes.
Talk about mud show shit.
Well, there is a
we weren't in here.
There is a Rose on the card. It's just not Dustin Rose. Okay. So I was thinking Nyla, but we'll talk about her later. So, yeah. Like I said before, there's guys that AEW, they'll put them in a big singles match for their debut, and they end up losing. Jeff Cobb, Wardlow, the Butcher and the Blade. All these guys they look like big threats heading into their singles debut, but then they lose.
Yeah.
Hager has to be the exception to that. They need to start building a big guy to be a big threat, and why not build someone like the Big Hurt to win here? And Dustin can make him look really good. Dustin doesn't need the win. I say Hager wins.
Yeah, I think Hager needs to win, especially because, Cobb, who was this hired mercenary, the guy that was really supposed to be the difference in this whole feud between Jericho and Moxley, he lost. You can't have now his bodyguard go out there and lose, especially coming off a few weeks after Wardlow went out there and lost. It's kind of like, why have these big guys under contract if they're not going to make a statement? So I think that Hager gets the win here.
Now, with Hager winning, I would think he does it clean, but because he's in the inner circle, and depending on where this match is on the card, I feel like Santana and Ortiz are going to get involved in one of these matches because, the inner circle have 3 matches tonight. Which match are they getting involved in? Is it going to be the Jericho match? Is it going to be this match? Or is it going to be the previously talked about Darby and Guevara match?
Yep.
And I think whatever match they do get involved in, it's going to help that person win. I don't think that's going to happen with this match, though. But do you see Santana and Ortiz getting involved in this match?
No, I think they're going to get involved in the Darby match, and I can very easily see Suicide Dive taking out all 3 people, including Sammy Guevara. I don't see them getting involved in this, only because Jake Hager's a guy that should really be built up as a guy that can handle himself. He shouldn't have anybody get involved in the match in order to win this. They talk about his MMA background, the fact that he does compete in Bellator.
But he's failing. He's failing in MMA. I know.
Undefeated, but failing. Granted, his last win, I think he won because he low-blowed the guy.
It became a no contest.
Either way, you know, because he's got some sort of legitimate background in MMA and he fights professionally.
Right.
You'd probably want to see them use that to their advantage. So I can't see them having to rely on an outside interference for him to win.
Now, you bring up the low blow thing. You're an MMA guy. I'm not. How is it that a low blow makes it a no contest and not a disqualification?
Because it was inadvertent.
And
the guy, the way that I think the rule is written, you have 5 minutes to answer the bell, and the guy couldn't get back up and compete after 5 minutes, or he said he couldn't go on, so they called it a no contest.
Do you see the low blow actually ending up
as part of this?
Maybe. We'll see. But let's see. Next match up here, we'll talk about Nyla Rose. She'll be defending the AEW Women's Championship against Kris Statlander. Now, you know what? I think this because of everything that happened so soon, the women's championship match again ends up being part of kind of put on the back burner. Agreed. Unfortunately, because the last pay-per-view, Riho and Emi Sakura had a random match thrown together last minute. And while there's some story behind this one, they're still kind of thrown together.
Yeah.
So, but nonetheless, I do think this will be a victory for Nyla Rose to retain, and she needs to retain. They need to have a dominant heel running the women's division. I know there's some heat with her personal background. There's some people that say that they should use it. Some people say they shouldn't. We're not here to discuss that part, but there's heat nonetheless because of that. And because of that, they need to run with whatever heat they can with it. And Nyla Rose could be a pretty decent champion here on out. So I say Nyla Rose retains.
I think Nyla Rose needs to retain, especially because she just won the championship. What was that, 2 weeks ago on Dynamite?
Yeah.
Kris Statlander, another one who seemed like they were building her up. But again, the whole women's division has been kind of lackluster. It's kind of like they're not staying on one linear path with anybody. It seemed like they were going to be building up the Nightmare Collective. Obviously, that whole thing foiled. That didn't come to fruition because it was pretty damn bad.
Right.
I don't think anybody was interested
They're still doing stuff with Luther and Mel because Luther just had a match on AEW Dark with Sonny Kiss, but I didn't get a chance to watch that match yet. But they're doing at least something with Nightmare Collective, just taking Awesome Kong and Brandy out of it. So we'll see if that actually amounts to anything in the future. But I do want to thank Anthony Ator for joining the Super Chat Party. $5. Thank you very much for your donation. If anybody wants to donate and join the Super Chat Party, all you got to do is click the $, any dollar amount to help support the channel.
I'm texting my wife in the other room asking her to save me at the moment.
Thanks. But anybody, if you have a question, we will answer the question. And for every super chat that we get tonight, Ralph's going to give me a flare chop. So that is now 2 flare chops at the end of the episode. So now, am I going bare chest with this, or do I get to keep my shirt on?
You probably should keep your shirt on. We don't want to scare people off.
I don't know. Maybe we should get the Manscaped razor out. So,
maybe we should.
20% off with the promo code SCP20. Anyway, let's move on to the next match. It's a highly anticipated one. The one I think everybody was talking about. I actually saw someone ask this in the live chat already. Did we talk about it yet? No, because we're talking about it right now. Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, the Young Bucks for the AEW Tag Team Championship. I love how this story has progressed because we know something's going to happen, but how is it going to happen? Is Kenny going to turn on Page? Is Page going to turn on Kenny? Are the Bucks going to turn on both of them? Is Kenny going to turn on the Young Bucks?
Yep.
Does Page turn on all 3 of them? Or do we just see cowboy shit for 20 minutes?
Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to see some form of cowboy shit tonight. Whole lot of whiskey, whole lot of beer, I'd imagine, at some points throughout the night.
Where's your beer, speaking of beer? I thought you usually do beer.
I do. I ate too much pizza today. I just ate a shit ton of pizza, so I didn't have room for the beer. You got to give me a little bit. So.
All right.
But either way, yeah, definitely a match I'm looking forward to. I think that Paige and Hangman, Omega and Paige are going to retain here.
Yep.
I think that they're going to continue to build this feud going into Double or Nothing and have a big type of match, whether that's some type of ladder match. I don't know. But I think at Double or Nothing, if the Young Bucks end up winning the titles at some point, that's a good time to do it because that's like one of their big time pay-per-views, if you will. So I think that Paige and Omega need to win here.
See, heading into this week, I was so positive that it would be Kenny that turns on the Bucks.
Right.
But after the interview segment last week with JR, we kind of already seen that the Bucks are really the heels in this situation and how they're insulting Hangman Page. So I think they just throw that up to 11 and they throw Kenny under the bus too. And the Bucks end up turning on Kenny Omega tonight.
Yeah.
They'll probably have a good match. They'll do the curtain call-esque thing after their win, or whoever wins the match, and then the Bucks will attack both of them, and then we'll get them because honestly, the tag team division need more heel tag teams because we have the Dark Order, Santana and Ortiz, and that's really it. I mean, the Lucha Brothers,
Butcher and the Blade.
None
of them are established though.
Right,
that's the thing.
right. But if you put the Young Bucks, who are already established name in AEW, as heels, they kind of already established themselves as top heels. So I do think because of that, it will be a retention for Paige and Omega just to fuel jealousy as to the reason why they attack each other. So, but everyone thinks that maybe Hangman Page is the one that turns on all of them. Kenny, obviously, the one trying to be peacemaker, but just can't take it anymore. Yeah. Maybe he turns on all three of them and then becomes the cleaner that everybody wants back. So I'm excited. That's probably the most excited I am for a match tonight.
Really?
Yeah. Just because I want to see what happens at the end, like who turns on who. So, all right. Darlene Bimbai, thank you very much for joining the Super Chat Party, donating $4.99. Who do you think is in the wrong in the Hangman storyline? Young Bucks seem like jerks. Kenny isn't really standing up for Paige, and Paige is drinking.
Paige is doing cowboy shit.
Yeah, I like I just said, I think the Young Bucks are really the. I think the Bucks are the heels.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna get more of that going into Double or Nothing because, like I said, I don't see this feud ending anytime soon. I think that this will progress until Double or Nothing, and it would help the storyline and help people get more invested in it when they establish an actual heel team.
Right.
And I think the Bucks should be that team because, let's face it, I mean, right now, Hangman Page might be the most over of the four of them.
Yes.
And why not continue to build on that? Why would you want to turn him full heel at this point? I wouldn't do it.
Right. And Noah Crandall actually just joined the Super Chat Party with a $2 donation. He asked, should AEW introduce a mid-card title tonight?
Yes. Tonight?
I don't know about tonight, but they definitely should have some kind of other title. Now, mid-card title, to me, if they do mid-card title, I think TV title. But you can also, because of some of the guys that they have on their roster, you could probably build a decent cruiserweight division and have a cruiserweight championship or a junior heavyweight championship.
Yeah.
I know there were talks about a trios tag championship. There's a lot of 3-man tags, best friends with Orange Cassidy, Jurassic Express. You could do something in that, and even SCU if you want to throw in Christopher Daniels, or if Christopher Daniels becomes the Exalted One, you have the Dark Order with him.
Yep.
I don't know if they announce it tonight, unless they plan on having the titles won as the first champions at Double or Nothing in May. I'd be interested to see that. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But thank you, Darlene. Thank you, Noah. So that is now four flare chops. So at the end of this episode, for all the super chats that we get, Ralph's given me 1 flare chop for your viewing pleasure. And if you want to donate to the Super Chat, join the Super Chat party. It's the $ on the live chat. Anything you can to support the channel is greatly appreciated. So 2 matches left. I think they're the 2 biggest matches of the night, obviously.
Yes, sir.
Cody versus Maxwell Jacob Friedman. No go-home angle this past Wednesday. Some people were okay with it. We weren't. Some people agreed with us. Your thoughts?
I think that this is definitely a match that is going to have some implications beyond just tonight. I don't think the feud is necessarily going to end here altogether. And I actually, right before we started recording, like when I was actually thinking about this, because initially my first thought was I thought MJF was going to win.
Yep.
I'll get into the reasons why I don't think that is after when we talk about the main event, but I'm actually going to say Cody's going to win tonight. Now, I don't think that necessarily means their feud is going to end completely here tonight, but I think that Cody is going to win, and then there'll be a future stipulation that's going to be put into place, and then you'll see that come to full head at Double or Nothing.
I think I agree with you that the feud continues past tonight, but I think in order for that to happen, MJF has to win.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to win clean, obviously. So whether it's Wardlow, whether it's Arn Anderson,
Brandy,
maybe even Dustin, someone I think is going to cost Cody that match, because I don't think they're going to let Cody lose clean for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. Because when he does lose clean, it's going to mean something. When he lost to Jericho, it was because MJF tossed in the towel. Other matches that he's lost, he hasn't lost many, and I'm pretty sure everyone he's lost, it was because either someone else took the pin or there was some outside interference. So I think it's going to be Arn that interferes, personally. And MJF could potentially join forces with Shawn Spears and Tully, and we start a new generation of the 4 Horsemen.
Okay.
They might not call them the 4 Horsemen, but I think that's where they're going to go. And obviously with Cody's dad, Dusty Rhodes, and Flair's feuds, and it kind of makes sense to bring that to the next generation. So I think that's where that's going. I'm also going to explain it a little bit more after we talk about the final match.
Okay.
So
before I got Cody, you got MJF.
I'm going with MJF there. But someone did ask in the live chat here for a little explanation or clarification on the chops stipulation for our super chats here. Is it per person or per donation? It is per donation. So any super chat donation, if you donate, $5, but do 5 separate donations of $1, that's 5 chops. So, a $5 donation for Harold Romero. Thank you for joining the Super Chat party. He says, I really like Statlander, but I feel her choosing Bar over AEW messed up her temporarily. I really hope Matt Hardy chooses AEW over NXT. Thank you, Harold, for joining the Super Chat party and your $5 donation. So we're at 5 Flair chops now. 5 Flair chops. Whew. Oh, all right. So, I do agree that the bar wrestling thing that happened where she had to miss the Dynamite match for the AEW Women's Championship because she had a previous engagement with bar wrestling. I think that was
a whole nother issue in itself, but
yeah, I mean, AEW should not have double booked her to begin with, and Statlander should have told them that she had a booking prior to signing, but I know it's early on in their stage. It's growing pains that happens. So, but I do agree that may have messed up her momentum temporarily. So, all right, main event time. Chris Jericho, the champion.
Yep.
Does he celebrate with a little bit of the bubbly, or do we see a new AEW champion in Jon Moxley?
So, again, going back to when I first originally thought about this, I thought Moxley was going to win. Mm-hmm. But what I think is going to happen is I think Jericho is going to win. I think Jericho needs to win because he is, right now, even though he's a heel, he's certainly over. People are getting behind him, especially when he comes out and they're kind of singing along to his entrance theme. I think that him carrying the title into Double or Nothing is certainly going to be important, and I think that they need a really big-time main event at Double or Nothing to drive that home. Now, of course, you can have a rematch between Moxley and Jericho, but you also run the risk of making that pretty stale because you have 3 more months to build up into that. What I think is going to end up happening is I think Cody will win tonight. And I think that one way or another, Cody is going to challenge MJF or something to have the right to challenge for the championship. I think that Cody's going to win that. And I think that if you're going to take the belt off of Jericho, it has to be a guy like Cody. Because if Jericho wins tonight, if you think about it, what other guys are over to the point where you can put them in a main event at a pay-per-view like Double or Nothing? Because right now, if you think about it, Kenny Omega and Hangman Page are kind of tied up in their whole thing with the tag division. Darby Allin, while he's certainly over with the fan base, he doesn't have the wins. He's not necessarily as well known as a guy like Cody is. Cody's probably the most over face in all of professional wrestling. So if anybody's going to take the belt off of Jericho, and if anybody's going to sell that pay-per-view, especially because it's a big pay-per-view, to me, you got to put your 2 biggest names, your 2 guys that are most over, and that's your 2 most guys that are over, to me.
All right.
That's my opinion.
Well, I see Jon Moxley winning.
Okay.
I do see Jon Moxley winning, avoiding whatever outside interference that may happen, and still end up winning and becoming the new AEW champion. I think Jon Moxley, outside of Cody, is the biggest star in AEW. You can look at YouTube. You look at their YouTube videos. The ones with all plus 1 million views, almost all of them feature Moxley.
Yep.
WrestleNomics just recently did a breakdown of the quarter ratings, and based on who was in those segments, who did their best over expected ratings. And it ended up being that Moxley, Cody, Jericho, and MJF were the 4 most rating grabbers against the expected ratings.
People want to see them.
They want to see them. So I think what they're going to do, Moxley wins tonight. Jericho's probably going to probably do a Fozzy thing, so he won't be there as much. And if that's the case, they got to get the belt off him.
I see all the chats coming through, and I'm just praying for you.
Yeah. Even my wife just donated $5 and joined the super chat party. Thanks, honey. She just wants to see me slapped. Awesome. We'll get to those super chats in a minute. But Moxley wins. MJF becomes the new AEW champion at Double or Nothing.
Okay.
Cody enters the Casino Battle Royale and wins. That's his only way he can get a title shot. And that whole summer is based on, wait a minute, you can't have a title shot because I cost that title shot for you.
Yep.
And we have the payoff at All Out.
Okay.
And you build, we're in February now and goes all the way to August. So that's, 6 months?
So you're saying eventually this leads to Cody and Moxley?
No, it ends up MJF.
MJF
and Cody rematch at All Out.
Gotcha.
Because Moxley's character, yes, the title would be nice, but I don't think he needs a long reign. And with MJF beating Moxley, that would be huge for MJF. Yeah.
Well, another thing that a lot of people are saying is there is that feud kind of that was happening in New Japan Pro Wrestling between Lance Archer and Moxley. So a lot of people are under the impression that Archer will debut tonight and cost Moxley.
Yep.
The reason why I think Archer's actually not going to be the Exalted One is because they announced that he's signed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you're going to debut somebody like that, where it's somebody who's like in a position where it's the Exalted One and you've been pushing it, you wouldn't necessarily want to say this guy is signed and coming to AEW.
Just to be the Exalted One.
Want him to appear.
Right.
Unless you wanted to generate some type of buzz. What do I know? But that's just my opinion.
So you think Jericho retains with the help of Lance Archer?
I don't know. I'm just saying it's something that I've seen people talking about. It's possible, I guess.
Right. So actually, you bring up Lance Archer, and that brings us to our first of a wave of super chats here. So the super chat party is getting pretty packed here. Thank you to Kia Phillips for your $5 donation and joining the super chat party. What do you guys think Lance Archer's role will be I think his first feud will end up being Jon Moxley.
Yep.
Well, obviously, if he's winning the title, you have him, be a number one contender. That's kind of a WWE thing where people just kind of debut and they're already in the title picture. But, I mean, they've had their death match at New Japan Pro Wrestling. They could sort of tie it into the storyline. Like, they have a past. They might not actually say it was Wrestle Kingdom, but I think that's where they go with that. Or they just have them have series of wins and kind of like Goro in Mortal Kombat, where he just keeps beating people until Johnny Cage hits him in the nuts. And that might be what they do with Lance Archer. So watch for someone to kick him in the nuts. But Carrie Moives, sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you for the $2 super chat and joining the super chat party. And he actually gave us a super sticker. That's our first super sticker, giving us $2 saying, hey, you. Hey, you. Good song by Pink Floyd. Carlos Rodriguez, thank you for your $9.99 super chat party. $9.99. That gets us 1 month of the WWE Network. And speaking of WWE, he says, WWE pissed me off so much with what they did to Wyatt, to know how hard that man has worked for his comeback, and they threw it all away just to make Roman look good in the end. Shaking my head. Thank God for AEW. If you're new to the channel, Carlos, I don't know if you saw our review of Dynamite and NXT this past Thursday. I said it was a huge mistake with that. Absolutely huge mistake. So, with that said, we got the Fiend and Cena.
Yeah, and the crowd certainly reacted like they want to see that match.
We got Goldberg and Roman, and you said, wait till it's all speculation. Wait till those matches are announced. They're announced. Yeah. So it basically supports my argument that was stupid to begin with. They should have kept the title on the Fiend, and that would have had main event written all over it, and they ruined it. Thank you, Vince. Ian Quick with his $4.99 donation to the Super Chat party. He says, since today is Leap Day, is it possible Matt Hardy's contract expires today, clearing the way for him to debut today at Revolution? No. March 1st means March 1st. They don't say, well, it's a Leap Day. It's not counted by amount of days. It's actually the date that's written. So, yeah. So that's that answer. Anybody else want to donate to the Super Chat? Join the Super Chat party. Click that dollar amount, and whatever questions you have, we'll answer for them. And for any donation that we get in the Super Chat, Ralph is going to give a flare chop to me. And let's see, what are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 flare chops. I'm halfway to Chris Van Vliet's 20 at Flatbacks. So while I get prepared for this, we'll go through the live chat and see if anybody had some quick questions here before we get down to the flare chops. A lot of people asking, do you think Broken Matt Hardy appears tonight? No. What else? I'd like to know what the hell WWE is doing to Bray Wyatt. They're setting him up for a big win over Cena, but they should have kept the title on him. Thoughts on that?
I mean, I think that last night was kind of self-explanatory. Bray Wyatt, to me, is a guy that can certainly build himself back up. I think certainly most people are upset that he is no longer the champion, especially because he lost to a guy like Goldberg, who is older. He's a part-time wrestler, if you even want to consider him a part-time wrestler, and he's definitely limited in the ring.
Right.
The thing that the place I see where people are going a little too far, they're like, he's done, he's buried, he'll never be built back up. There's nowhere else for him to go. It's like, just look at what happened last night. He came out, the crowd went nuts. It's a match. It's a high profile match. As long as he beats Cena, that's a step in the right direction. And he's always one great promo or one great angle away from building himself back up, just like Brock Lesnar.
Right.
So,
Anthony Ettore joined the Super Chat party again with a $1 donation. So that's 11 flare chops now. Whew. Hamburger meat from my chest tonight. Holy crap. And there's not many questions asked here. There are more comments than anything. Will CM Punk be the leader of the Dark Order?
God, no.
It's in Chicago.
No.
No, that won't happen. I know his contract apparently says he could do both, but he won't, I don't think it will affect his backstage if he goes to AEW, so they don't want to do that. Have they announced anything for the kickoff show? I don't think so. This video is getting progressively worse. Thank you, Aaron. You know, not everyone could like us. That's fine. Did they do Hangman's match yet? Yeah, we did. We did all the matches. Someone LOLing on flare chops. Yeah, I think that's it. What's up, guys? Love the show. Thank you, Brandon Brown, for that. Anybody's coming down towards the more recent comments here? Whoa. Jericho retains. Archer attacks Moxley. Possible. Oh, another $2 donation from Carrie. Get ready for those chops, boss man. 12 chops now. Who do you want to see as a new signee for AEW? That asked by Edward Sanchez. Brody Lee. We need Brody. Brody Lee.
I'm trying to think of who else is going to be a free agent relatively soon.
Yeah. Other than Kelly Klein, that's the only other one. Ryback, if once he announces that he's eligible or he's, healthy enough to wrestle.
Right.
There's really nobody else. And once the Revival become free agents, which I believe, what's it, Dash Wilder that has the added time?
Added time because he got hurt. Yeah, I
right.
think it's mid-March.
So, no, because of the added time, it won't be till like August. So we won't see the Revival till possibly All Out, if that happens. We'll see what happens. But one quick question here from Chris Leland. They are going to make an announcement today about a future match. What will upset people? What do you think that will be? Maybe the Casino Battle Royale again?
Some variation of War Games?
Possibly.
Poof.
Harold Romero, thank you for joining the Super Chat Party with a $5 donation. Another one there. The only thing I'm thinking about Jericho retaining is the fact that he is touring soon. That it definitely is going to play a role in this. So if he's not there all the time, I don't think AEW wants to have a Goldberg or Brock Lesnar-esque thing there. So Noah Crandall, thank you for joining the Super Chat Party again with a $5 donation. I'm just waiting for ICP to come back to WWE. Shirtless chops, by the way. Trust me, you don't want to see this shirtless. I mean, I didn't manscape today. I didn't get the Manscaped razor. And if you guys, manscaped.com, 20% off with the promo code SCP20. Is WWE going to do, what is WWE going to do with Liv Morgan? I don't know.
Probably nothing.
Nothing. They tried doing something with, maybe there's a match with Ruby Riott at WrestleMania. I mean, they're planning, the rumor is 6 women's matches for WrestleMania. So it's a lot. But Bucks and Cody had a Q&A, gave a ton of hints about things that they are working on. True. What y'all guys do? Y'all work with AEW?
No.
No, we don't work with AEW, but I do work in television. Actually, the company I work for, our clients are Fight TV and the WWE Network. So we make sure those things are up and running where I work. So thanks for the question. If CM Punk joins AEW Revolution, no, CM Punk will not be there tonight. And if he does, holy shit, the internet's going to blow up. So more than my chest in a couple minutes. Hi, guys. My first time watching you guys. You guys are cool dudes. Wait in a couple minutes. What would be a dream match for you guys between an AEW star and an WWE star?
Cena Omega.
Yeah. That would definitely draw in people. So we'll see how that goes. Mason Wolf, shout out to you. He said shout out and we'll subscribe. So as long as you watch our videos, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. We're done with the live chat, Ralph. So
this is it. Huh?
This is it.
If I'm going to do this, I got to get on that side.
All right. So we're going to switch sides here. Not that the microphones matter. Jesus. What am I thinking here?
This was your idea.
It was. All right, folks. So
how many are we up to?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 so far. 300 people are watching right now on YouTube, which that's kind of a lot, I guess. And I'm about to join Flair Chop City. Woo!
This was a big mistake.
This was a big mistake.
I don't think you were anticipating this many.
I was thinking maybe like 5 or 6. The last time I did something like this, though, Ralph and I were on vacation for our cousin's birthday. We went to Atlantic City, and I said it was during the Olympics, and I was like, "We'll do a shot every time there's a goal scored."
Yeah,
and like there were 6 goals scored in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Team USA playing somebody. A team that was certainly not very good.
I think it was Czech Republic, which they're not that bad of hockey players, though. But did we just get another one? No. Okay, so we're at 14. If anybody wants to add more Flair Chops, super
we should
chat.
Probably cut it off here, but
Yeah. Well, keep donating, support the channel. Thank you guys for donating. Thank you for watching. And here come the Flair Chops.
The show's about to officially become Mud Show shit.
Here we go.
Backyard Mud Show shit. Oh, you're actually taking that off?
Oh, what do you guys think?
I would leave it on. I don't. Nobody wants to see that crescent roll pubic crust.
It won't hurt. It won't hurt as much.
What the hell you? Let's just get this over.
All right, here we go.
14?
14. 14 right now. Oh, that's with the shirt on. Damn it. Oh, that's 1. Oh, 2. Oh, go for the center of the chest.
I can't. I'll fucking stop your heartbeat. What is that, 4, 3?
That's 3. Oh, god damn.
What is that?
Man. 5.
Shut up, Cody. Where's Wardlow?
Oh, no. Bring the pain, Ralph. Oh, god damn it, another person. Oh, damn. Thank you for joining the Super Chat Party. GG Allin, 99-cent donation. Oh, god damn.
All right. How many is that?
6? God damn it. Ow. Oh, 7.
Halfway there.
God damn, I'm living on a prayer. Holy shit. Oh, damn, my fucking
You want to do that side?
You're getting my nips.
I'm not trying to.
That's all right.
It's starting to hurt my hand. Stop rubbing it.
Oh, God damn.
How many is that? 7?
8. Cup your hand, damn it. Oh. I think we need to just, there we go. Put that a little lower.
Tighten this up. I'll give him a little break.
Oh, god damn. I'm afraid to pull up my oh, God.
How many is that? 9?
9.
5 more.
Oh, 10. Actually, now it's 5 more. Oh, shit.
We'll cut him off here. So 5 more. Here we go.
5 more. Oh, damn it. Oh, fuck.
Oh, bullshit.
Oh, damn. 14?
Last one, people.
Hold on, there's a 16,
No,
7.
you can't keep doing all these.
Fuck
He's
it.
going to die. Ready?
Oh,
Show what. Let's see what it looks like.
oh shit. I have a lot of padding under here. It's not even that bad. Whew. Chris Van Vliet's is worse. Oh,
Look at the definition. If you've never seen a man bear pig in real life, holy shit.
oh, goddamn.
Any questions, folks?
There's a couple people that did super chat here. Thank you, Brandon Hansen. Give me a good woo on 14. Charlie Kobatson, if I pronounce that wrong, I apologize. Who would lead the inner circle if Jericho's not around? Good question. Tyler Williams, former guest on the Squared Circle Psychobabble. Take the shirt off. Do it, you coward. Listen, I said I wanted to. Ralph was the one that said no.
I was trying to do you guys a favor.
Corey MacArthur, thank you for your donation. Hey, guys. And One Love 396 Abel donating $1.
Get him with 4 more.
Get him with 4.
Woo!
fuck it. I gotta rest. Let's do these last 4 before we close out the
4 more?
Why not? There were 4 more there. I don't mind. I'll take them.
Oh my God! All right, this is it.
This is. I should have put the shirt back on. Oh damn it! Oh. Last one. Oh, God damn. Oh, the pain I take for you guys. Oh.
It's all in the name of professional wrestling, folks.
Oh, God damn.
And this is not professional wrestling by any means.
No, this is outlaw.
This is as outlaw mud show shit as it's going to get. If Jim Cornette ever sees this, good God almighty.
Oh, I'm going to fucking tweet him just so he does see it.
He'd be draining his nipple later tonight.
You fucking cut the nipple, man. Oh, shit, that hurt. Oh, man. Oh, thank you very much, guys, for joining us on the Squared Circle Psychobabble. 10 minutes from AEW Revolution, so we do have to head on out, set up, watching this thing. It's going to be a fun show. Definitely more fun than what the hell I just went through for the last 10 minutes or so. Thank you all for supporting the channel. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. We will be reviewing the show tomorrow night, so make sure you have that bell rung for when you're notified when that video goes up. And yes, Matthew, we are brothers, so this is all in brotherly love. So thank you all for joining us. Enjoy AEW Revolution. For Ralph, Ric Flair, the frickin' heel Valenti, my name is Michael Valenti, saying so long from the Squared Circle Psychobabble.